Hello! Today on Yinka and Friends, I am at the King's Head Members Club with Tinie Tempah, and he's going to be telling me all about life after the second album. So hello.
Hello, Yinks.
Thank you for joining me.
That's all right. Thanks for having me.
This room full of butterflies.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Do you like?
It's a great location.
Are you into the whole taxidermy thing?
I like taxidermy. Yeah, but the right kind of taxidermy.
What's the right kind of taxidermy?
Something that is like a quite a rare animal, an animal that you don't see every single day. Is always quite good. Because I went to a shop one time and someone had like a taxidermy of a bulldog. In the shop in Liverpool that we go to sometimes to get clothes, and I was like, well, you just see dogs all the time, so it's weird. Yeah, it's like you kill the dog, like, it's weird. But if it's usually like a tropical animal, exotic, something that you don't get to see, that's when it's fun.
Okay. So we're here, it's 2 albums later. How do you feel? Do you feel on top of the world?
I feel good. I feel very, very good. I feel in very good spirits.
Yeah.
I feel like I have, you know, over this past summer, so literally the second album came out a while back now, and we've just done a really good summer rollout of like festivals. So we've done all the festivals from Wireless to Radio 1 Big Weekender, and everything's been really great. Like everything's gone down really well. The reactions back have been great. I just feel like for me now, I'm at a place now where I want to challenge myself again, like, which is a great thing, because I think what kind of helped me between where I was before the first album and all the stuff prior to that, so for anyone who really knows like Tears or Hood Economics or Wifey, after a while I started to realise that like I wasn't so focused on what all my peers or contemporaries were doing. I kind of just gave up trying to fit in and trying to make everybody happy, and I was just like, screw this, I'm gonna do my own thing, and that was literally the catalyst for everything that happened after that. Did
you feel like a lot of pressure on the second album, because it was like the awkward second album, so to speak?
Yeah.
It sounds like it hit you a
bit.
Do
you know what? It's weird. It didn't hit me while I was making it. It hit me afterwards. It hit me afterwards, and it was weird because, like, one thing I find about our scene and where we've come from is that, as much as we're probably the noisiest lot, we can be very quiet as well. It's even like Discovery. Sometimes I'll sit down, you know, in regards to the first album, I'll be talking to my little brother and he's like, Discovery was sick. I'm like, no one told me Discovery was sick. I'm like, no one told me that. He's like, yeah, but you must have known. I'm like, but I'm still a human as well.
Yeah, like, it's still your baby, you're not
it's still
sure.
my baby. So obviously when I put things out into the world, it's like, of course, obviously you can tell by record sales and you can tell by how much you end up touring and gigging and all that kind of generic stuff. But remember, you're still part of this very small, organic scene. Yeah. You know, that kind of like is the reason why you're here, essentially.
Yeah, so you still want the recognition from the people that are close to you or who were there before.
Exactly, not because you need it, but because it helps ultimately. Do you understand?
Yeah, and you're sort of put on a platform with people who, like, you know, these made bands who've been put together, and you're judged exactly the same as them.
And even when you look at it now, like when you think about like the past successes for the past 10 years, most of these made up bands or acts have come from X Factor, where they've had like a crazy platform. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad or a good thing, you know, I think it's great. However you can be discovered is great, but
being compared to them.
Yes, exactly, being compared to them, because it's not like there's not that many people from here for whatever reason, or from where we came from, to be compared to in terms of sales or in terms of gigs, in terms of, so it's like, as amazing as it is, but when you're being nominated for Best Album at the Brits, you're being nominated against Mumford and Sons, you're being nominated against, and it's great, but then after a while you're kind of like, oh wow, well, you know, where I'm from is a lot more of a kind of active culture as well, whereas, and the way I kind of like describe an active culture is, can your genre of music survive without the help of like majors and all that kind of stuff? Do you have gigging outlets where indie bands are gigging all the time? Yes. Do you have festivals where indie bands, signed or unsigned, are playing and performing? Yes. Do they sell records independently to a good enough standard? Yes. Do you know what I mean? So they have their own industry, whereas you know, in my opinion, I think where we're at now, as talented as everyone is, our industry really exists on the internet. It's not even really like a tangible, like you can't touch it.
No, yeah.
I can't take you here and say, okay, cool, this is my music and this is what it is and this is what goes on the fire. There's probably 1 or 2 people trying, and bless them, like it's good. It's good for the future, it's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing, but at the same time, there isn't that much of it. So I'm just trying to do what I think is right and what I think is good. And that's the kind of ethos that we kind of put onto all the artists in Disturbing London. Just do what you feel, stop watching everybody else, do what you think is good and right. And like I said, I'm happy now that I'm kind of on the other side. You know, BAFTA performance with Heroes with Lauren Vula, great. You know, Trampoline with 2 Chainz, #3, album #3. Like, I'm really, really happy. Like, I'm really happy. I'm just getting on with it, working on the next project like any artist would do.
So speaking about your 3rd album, like, who are you looking at now? Are you going to work with people? Are you going to...
Yeah.
What are you looking to do?
To be quite honest with you, I like this 3rd album for me is like, I want it to be quite a special one, like in the way that I'm sure everyone wants all of their albums to be special, but I want this to be really special because, like I said, there's a lot of artists that have kind of not made it to that point. So I kind of want it to like embody all of that, plus all of the way we are as people at the minute. You know, the world is quite crazy at the moment if you think about it. There's so much stuff going on that's bad everywhere, but everyone's distracted by how many likes they get on Instagram and Insta famous, and everything's just weird at the moment.
It's all really strange.
It's strange, it's strange. Like, people are not focused on, in my opinion, just my humble opinion, I don't think people, especially the youth, which is quite worrying because they're going to be the next generation, but it's like they're not focused on the right things. And I kind of want to like cover all that kind of stuff in a way that's like not patronising or not preachy as well. And so I've been thinking about just trying to work with like new people, a lot of people that people don't know, just almost because of the fact that, you know, even like Rudimental, who I think came out and, you know, had a very, very successful record as British artist. There was this whole kind of thing of just like the soul of the person, whether you know them or not, on all the Rudimental songs. It doesn't matter if the person is some big name. It's more the intention and what they're singing and what they're saying and how they're saying it. Even when we first heard Ella Air for the first time, like, no one knew who she was or what she looked like, but when she was saying "Tell me that you want me," it's like she really wants you to tell her that you want her. Like, and I genuinely believe that. That to me is one of the best, like, after like Pass Out and a few other like modern day songs. Waiting All Night is one of the best like British songs to come out like in the past couple of years, in my opinion. But yeah, so I'm just thinking about working with kind of like more unknown artists, lots of good British talent, because at the end of the day, you know, if we were able to find, well, if England was able to find an Adele and a Jessie J and this person and that person, I'm sure that there's a whole new generation by now of all these kind of people. So I'm kind of trying to find that at the moment.
Yeah, but good luck with everything. Thank you for sitting down with me in this room full of butterflies.
It was a cool room. It was a cool room. It inspired everything else.